What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 122 of the Chumpcast. We had a full house this week as our friend Colin, aka Reverend Rogue 10, joined us to review one of the best flicks of the year, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You can find us on all social media platforms at the Chumpcast. You can also call or text us at 847-920-6107. If you leave us a good enough message, you might hear yourself on a future episode. If you want to support the show, you can find our merch at thechumpcast.com. We always appreciate kind reviews, subscriptions, and ratings on Apple Podcasts. You can also shop on Amazon through our affiliate link at thechumpcast.com/Amazon. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've only got a week to write as many jokes about Aquaman as humanly possible.
Weirdest guy ever. So proud of it, by the way. Just taking his pants off in the middle of the room.
Y'all are jealous.
Did you have that custom design for you?
Yeah.
His aunt made it for him.
Aunt Ann. Shout out to Aunt Ann. Definitely made this for me. Thank you very much, too. It's a beautiful gift. The wool on this. It's wool.
It's very soft.
It's wool.
It's fleece. It's not wool. Wool would be super itchy.
No, it's
that's definitely not wool.
It's wool. It's wool. It's nice wool. You haven't seen nice wool until you've obviously put this on.
100% not wool. But anyways, is there anything better than starting your day off with just a nice, cold, tasty Busch Light?
We're all drinking Busch Light here,
All
except
drinking
for Bunny Man.
Busch Light.
I'm drinking Busch Light. Let's go.
I
Cheers.
just everybody wants to knock Busch Light, and I don't get it. It's cheap and it's delicious.
That's the same reason that my dad
Hashtag
likes
ad.
High Life.
Just kidding.
My dad is
Tell him you can taste the savings.
my old man is going to live to be 150 because he drinks Busch Light every day. There's nothing wrong. He's in his 70s. There's nothing wrong with him. Drinks Busch Light all the time. Goes to his doctor, and his doctor's like, I don't know how you do it. Pisses my mom off to no end, which is hilarious.
So much Busch Light.
It's Busch Light, dude. It's just good for you. It's something in the water. I don't know where they pull the water from, but it's probably like the East River or something in New York, just full of goo.
Garbage water.
No, it's got to be this river right here in
It
the
should say like
Wyoming forest, wherever this is.
I will say that the limited edition orange cans should be year-round cans because they're beautiful.
Yeah. Just makes me want to go hunt some elk.
I wonder if this has anything to do with me waking up in the middle of the night with nosebleeds.
Probably not.
Drinking Busch Light does
You
it?
just don't have a humidifier.
I do have a humidifier.
Do you?
But I still woke up at 3 a.m. looking like Gordon Gekko in the late 80s, just fucking gushing blood from my nose.
Low key, Erica's just like punching you in the face quietly every night. And you're just like not feeling it, but your nose is bleeding because you're a psycho.
Just chopping up baby aspirin and just pouring it up your nose.
That is oddly specific. Is there a story you'd like to share, Mark?
We both actually saw it happen. We have been quiet until now. 100 episodes in, we're just like finally going to let you know.
It's weird. My blood is really thin. I don't have headaches, though, but I'm just getting these terrible
Why do you think
nosebleeds.
you'd never wake up with a hangover like you thought you would?
It's true.
Maybe. I don't know.
Just doing you a favor.
All right, random question. What's the weirdest thing that's ever woken you up? Brick, I assume for you it's one of your Tinder dates.
Oh my God. Okay, here's actually a bad story. At Aunt Ann's house, swear to God, they just got a new dog. I was probably 7 or 8, and I was sleeping in their living room, and their dog comes up and is laying on my bed. It's like a new puppy. It's like, I love the dog. It's awesome. And I wake up and I feel like someone's pouring water on my face, and like my aunt's a trickster. She likes to play pranks or whatever. And so I like wake up and I like go into the kitchen, and my aunt's looking at me and laughing hysterically. I'm like licking my lips. And I'm like,
Oh,
why am I was dry. I thought I was super wet. And all of a sudden I realized that the dog had peed on me.
What
And that's the weirdest thing that's woken me up.
Ugh.
Getting peed on in the face by a dog.
I regret asking this question.
Yeah, no, that took a very right angle. It just whoop.
You guys got anything? I'm speechless.
I'm gonna
Follow
stay
that up.
silent after
Yeah,
that.
no.
Follow
Well,
that
Kelly
one
gets
up.
like super aggressive with objects sometimes when she's sleeping. So like she's woken up sleepwalking and punched out the screen of her window.
Jesus.
And
Dude, sleepwalking is
she
a real
opened the
thing.
window and just punched out the screen.
That's
And I
the
was
step
like,
You opened the window first.
I know.
Oh, Jesus.
And then she's punched a mirror before and broke it.
That's the stepbrothers. When they woke, they're like, don't wake him up, and the stepbrothers, and they like go crazy. Oh, no.
I'm convinced that's really not Kelly. What about you?
Probably just a massive nosebleed and brain aneurysm that just starts leaking out of my face.
You
Jeez,
like
that's
Erica's
quite
never
scary.
elbowed you in the face or anything.
Yeah, but that's not weird. That's just normal
Yeah.
shit. And now we have a bigger bed, so it doesn't happen as much.
As much. She's little.
She's
Big
little, but
bed.
she doesn't sleep like it.
She's like a
Karate fighter. in the
Yeah,
middle
she
of the
sleeps
night.
like fucking Street Fighter.
She's never been like in the corner of the room just staring at the wall. That would freak me out. That's like the
Well,
scariest
now
thing
I
that could
know.
happen
I'm
in
gonna have
movies.
nightmares about that, but
Fuck yeah.
In
What?
scary movies, that's the worst. Where the little kid, it's like middle of the night, he's just standing in the corner of the room, just staring at the wall.
AKA Brightburn.
Yeah, in the bunny suit.
yeah.
Where'd you get the bunny suit, Jimmy?
yeah.
I killed a big man for it.
Yeah, that would be Brick's first question. Wait, where'd you get that bunny suit?
Yo, let me feel how soft it is.
This wool.
We have a dumb question for the week, but first, we, in an ancillary conversation, mentioned conspiracy theories last week, and we ended up with a voicemail from Jared. So let's listen to this.
This guy knows great
Hey
sportsmanship. I
guys,
gotta
Jared.
go.
Colin, because Smithers made me think last week when talking about
You're
conspiracy
welcome.
theories, one of my favorite topics of all time, but I've kind of picked up a new one in the last week, and I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So this time of year is obviously sickness season, and everybody talks about the flu shot. I've never gotten one, mostly because of laziness, not really any, health guru.
What's
The more
from the
I
doctor?
start to notice, everybody who gets the flu shot gets the flu. And I've never had it, or I haven't had it in 10 years, and that was college. Might have just been a bad hangover. I'm not even convinced it was the flu. I had a case this weekend where a couple of friends were exposed to it. So was I and my wife, who haven't had flu shots. We're fine. They like them all night. So I think the government has put together some sort of plan, and maybe it's Big Soup or perhaps Big Doctor's Office. I'm not really sure who's in charge of these things. But they want to get America sick again. And I think the flu shot is actually a total 180 of what it's supposed to be. And when you get a flu shot, you just get the flu. So, I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory. And Smithers, I like conspiracy theories, so I thought I'd throw that one your way.
Yo, yeah, they inject the real flu into your body,
It's
right?
dead, though. It doesn't give you the flu.
Yeah, but that just means your immune system is
No.
trash.
The only thing the government does with flu shots is convince you to go Christmas shopping. That's how they mind control you to spend money.
I just think everyone, it's easy for them to attribute it to the flu shot. It's flu season. The flu is going around. I feel like if you get a flu shot and then you get a flu the week later, you're going to be like, it was the flu shot.
Yeah.
But
Post hoc ergo proctor hoc. That's a fallacy. You can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. They do control your mind, which is kind of messed up, but
I feel like I haven't
No,
had
I
the flu
agree
in
with you.
3
They-
years. I don't know about you guys. I get
now
a
we are all
cold.
going to get the flu. Thanks a lot for saying that.
I don't get a cold, but
You're going to come over here and get all of us sick, and I'm going to murder you.
Actually, just so you guys know, I was going to warn you, and then I forgot to warn you. I am fully sick, and you guys all just touched my wool. So
yeah,
I
that
don't.
that
what?
whole bunny
You
suit.
forced your wool on me.
I forced
So,
my wool
I
on
didn't
you.
have consent.
Yeah.
That
And I
bunny
actually
suit
think
was
we're on
already
the record
ridden with
me
flu when you
saying,
bought
"Don't
it.
touch me."
When is 2018 going to be over?
You bought that. You bought that at Walmart, right?
Yeah, it was ridden with flu
Yeah,
already.
there are worse things on that than the flu virus.
It's all crusty. Ew.
just having a sneeze attack all of a sudden.
All right, so Mark, I'm going to lean on you for this one, but our question for the week last week was they're bringing back
Celebrity death match. Sorry.
something like that. So what celebrity death matches do you want to see?
And to give some context, this is because Celebrity Deathmatch is coming back.
Literally
Supposedly.
just said that.
Oh, you did? I didn't
Yeah,
listen. Sorry.
I thought the best point made on our Instagram post was from B-Rob. Funny on Twitter. Follow him. So they're going to show one episode of this. Everybody's going to get offended because it was a pretty offensive show.
Oh my God.
And they're going to go back and find the footage from the 1998 episodes and get really offended by that. And this is immediately just going to be canceled.
They're going to get more offended when they do their research, when all of these fake angry people
Well,
see
it's
this
just-
on television, on the internet. Like, oh, I'm going to go back and find Celebrity Deathmatch's tweets from 2002.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Before
Deep
Twitter.
water. Deep water Twitter all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Chicago. How you dang? What's the matter?
Serena is asking where we're from. We are all from Chicago.
What was the episode? I think it was like Pamela Anderson. The best is they
Oh my
had
God.
her, like her
Boobs, like-
fake boobs like went up to her hands and she just started knocking this guy. They're
You search through celebrity deathmatch gifs. That's one of the first ones that comes
Yeah.
up. It's
That was a classic
Genius.
episode.
they're gonna have Kim Kardashian's fake butt just like shoot down to her foot and she's just gonna be kicking
okay,
like
but who's she going to fight?
Ariana Grande or some shit. I don't know.
Drake.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, maybe Drake.
She will make an appearance in the Kanye versus Drake celebrity death match, obviously.
Maybe Caitlyn Jenner. Who knows?
Did you guys read through his tweets when he was having his mental breakdown?
It's not done. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
still
not done.
going.
It's still going.
He's going strong.
He just
It's
hasn't slept in 3 days.
48 hours going on 72 hours straight of tweeting like a maniac.
Interesting.
We need to get some of these and see what is this? He's going on.
Nothing he says
tirade?
makes any fucking sense. He's just shitting on Drake.
Well, he's off
Oh.
his meds. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's bipolar.
So
Been off my meds before. Crazy shit.
Oh,
Ron versus MJ. Hell yes.
all right. T just commenting in here.
Pete Davidson versus a hologram of Mac Miller. Actual amazing.
TJ is the perfect person to
Oh
give us
my
examples for this.
Yes,
brutal.
please.
Yeah,
more,
because he's the
more.
one like scrolling through TMZ's Twitter, figuring out who's beefing with who.
yeah,
Yes.
Kanye is still going today. He's done. Hold on, I'm gonna count the number of tweets
Oh,
today.
Jesus, this is
Amazing.
going to
But,
take a while.
yo, LeBron versus MJ would be sick. They just
Michael J-
what would
no.
the finisher be? It would be Jordan would stretch.
No, he'd like stick his tongue out down his
No,
like,
no,
through
no.
his eyeball.
He would do some Space Jam shit and like stretch his arm all the way out and then crush LeBron's head or something. What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know. You are really off today.
I am
Oh my
really
God.
on today.
Take that
No,
bunny
we're-
suit off. You're making it worse.
It's cutting off the blood flow to your brain. All right. What other submissions did we get, Mark?
Yo, Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, well,
Kanye-
TJ
Kanye's
has some
tweeted
good ones
40
right there
times today,
for
by
celebrity
the way.
death matches. Ooh, Cardi B and Nicki
And it's
Minaj.
only noon.
What do you say?
Kanye's tweeted 40 times today, and
Good
it's
Lord.
noon.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Drake and Kanye would be funny to see because of what's going on right
so
now.
who are the announcers? Do we know that yet?
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah, it's
Ice
Ice
Cube.
Cube.
It's just Ice Cube?
No, I'm sure it'll be somebody else. I hope they bring back the two original dudes. And they have
Ice
to
Cube
have,
would actually be hilarious.
they have to have Judge Mills Lane, obviously.
right.
Gotta get Judge.
I'll allow it.
All right, let's go through these submissions. So
Waiting for you two, yeah.
Wyatt McCourtney says Neil deGrasse Tyson and his accusers.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Apparently he was a little creepy in college.
Yeah.
And his accusers, that's amazing. Okay.
Dreams 2114 has a couple. He said Metallica versus Kanye.
Kanye's a hot
understand that.
topic.
Yeah, it's pretty much everybody versus Kanye.
Okay.
McGee
Sasha
over
Baron Cohen versus Rami Malek
I
or
like
Brian
that,
May.
because they were both in the running to play Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
TJ is another good one. I have to Chris Rock versus The Rock versus Kid Rock versus A Rock. I threw the A Rock in there. Just throw a rock in there. They like it's a no rules match with only you can kill him with a rock.
The only way that's funny is if they immediately kill Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I mean, yeah, like okay, I'm in.
All right, we got Fat Marilyn Manson. You have to bring back Marilyn Manson versus Cardi B.
What about did we bring up Lady Gaga? Lady Gaga's got to have a match in there.
Who else is super weird?
Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel. That would be hilarious.
You
Okay,
just get a Royal Rumble going with all of the late night hosts.
that would be pretty good. I'd be down for that. But I actually do like this Matt Damon versus Jimmy Kimmel rivalry throughout the years has actually been funny.
It's not real though. It's
That's what makes it even better is like they can go more over the top because people know that it's not real.
Conan O'Brien would murder all of them because he's so gangly and weird.
He's so gangly. You took the word right out of my mouth. I was going to say gangly. He's King
He's
Gangle.
gangly. Yeah. What else we got?
Can we have Selena Gomez fight Ariana Grande so they both blow up and disappear?
Not bad. Not bad.
Maybe a dual knockout with those.
Joe Rogan versus Elon Musk? No, it's got to be Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos. A battle of the super geniuses.
That would be a good one.
Did they bring back people that were dead? I think they did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
So R.I.P. Stan Lee versus Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, yeah,
You almost got his name
almost.
on the third try.
I don't care about his
Say
name.
post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic.
You
Got
s-
it.
you-
Fucking nailed it.
You said it. You
Did he
said it, but
brutalize
you
that one
also
time?
just didn't say it very.
I have a cold.
He's
I have a
never been
cold.
able
You
to
could
say-
tell.
Shut.
He
My
did-
nasal passage isn't completely open.
He didn't get the flu shot, and you have a cold. So conspiracy busted, Jared.
Yes, Bill Maher though versus Stan Lee. That would be great.
What about
Lee would
stand-up
obviously kill
comics?
him.
What about like Jerry Seinfeld versus Bill Burr or something? Or like, wait,
Oh, Heath Ledger, Paul Walker. Bring them both back. Settle it once and for all, even though they probably never met each other, but they're both dead and I love them both, so they should fight.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That'd be a good
I was gonna say Heath Ledger
That's
and
dark.
who's the shitty Joker?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Anybody would love to fight Jared Leto. Jared Leto is the worst fucking person on the planet.
Jared Leto versus everybody.
Do you
Fair.
believe that you can walk on
Who does
water?
Matthew McConaughey fight?
Who else is in a million romantic comedies? Channing Tatum.
Matthew McConaughey versus his agent because he keeps putting him in Lincoln commercials.
I was gonna say versus the Lincoln car itself.
Do you think there's any chance in the world that Matthew McConaughey drives a Lincoln?
100%, dude. Lincolns are dope.
Matthew McConaughey doesn't drive a Lincoln.
No, dude. He's got
They're
like
nice.
Bentleys and Ferraris and.
I could see him.
I could see him also driving like a 1978 Ford Ranger.
Oof.
TJ says Bill Cosby versus Louis C.K.
C.K.
Oh,
The sex offender route.
All right.
hey.
We got anything else? Or are we ready to move on?
We
We're
could
good.
move on.
All right, for next week. For some reason, you are launched into space. I don't know why. I don't know why you brought that up in your original question, but you only also have a singular recording of a speech from a movie to listen to on repeat while you drift off into oblivion.
easy.
What movie speech do you choose?
Already got it.
Let's hear it.
Halftime pump up speech. Remember the Titans.
That's
Sorry.
not even the best football speech.
Doesn't matter. Is to me.
There
No.
you go. It's all subjective 1,000,000%.
Any
I like
given
it.
Sunday.
Remember the Titans is dope.
Pacino. Yeah, dude. It's
You know, it's a good one, but to me, Remember the Titans is the best football movie ever made.
No,
Honestly,
disagree. Friday Night Lights.
ooh, I think I remember that. I gotta go with Colin on this one.
Remember
Only because
And to each his own.
Mike Wenchel's speech at the end where he's like, "All right, Wiggle, I love y'all."
yeah,
The
that's
last
good.
play, come on.
Dude, Booby Miles is super dope too. Like that's a very good story. It's awesome.
Remember
But
the Titans broke down barriers.
Billingsley, party at Taylor's house. And then just like Gary Bertier fucking driving his car. And then, oh, dude. It's so
are you
good.
just going to go
Plus-
shot by shot?
no.
Tell the entire story?
No. I just had, that's like my favorite scene. Besides, the one thing I was going to say is
Your favorite scene is when he
Remember-
dies, where he
Hell
gets
yeah.
hit in the car. Go ahead.
remember
I figured that was Mark's favorite scene, but Jesus.
Remember the Titans is probably the movie that has the best soundtrack next to
Wow.
Into the Universe. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
You are not smart today. I don't know how else to describe it. You're just
Into
not
the-
intelligent today.
Into the universe. he said.
So the movie that we saw yesterday has the best soundtrack.
Great. Anyways, you
Remember
can
the
find us
Titans
on
is
all
second
social
best.
media at the Chumpcast. You can also call or text us at 847-920-6107. The question is basically your favorite movie speech.
Yeah, please.
It doesn't have to be serious
Yeah,
either.
whatever you said before, there's no way I'm putting that into a post.
Yeah, no,
I don't
that's,
even
it's got to
know.
be that.
No,
Yeah.
it's not going to be that.
What the fuck, man? Why do you even run our social media?
News to us.
All right, so I just made you guys watch the trailer for Brightburn, which is essentially if Superman wasn't a giant goober and maybe turned evil. What'd you think?
I liked it. It was scary, dark, and got to use the superpowers are dope.
This is a
he's
horror
creepy.
thriller, right?
Yeah. It's Superman mixed with a horror movie, and Superman's not lame. You
Yeah.
actually
See, that's the
nailed
thing,
it.
though, is I don't want to say Superman because Superman is so lame.
It's just kid who. It's the same origin story as Superman in essence.
No, not in essence. Like they have the farm. He comes from space. It is the same origin
It is
story.
a replica.
100%. So this is produced by James Gunn. I think his two brothers wrote it, so he's just fronting the money for it, which good for him. But he doesn't want to get away from the superhero stuff.
Superheroes are tight.
It's a refreshing spin. People with superpowers, because I feel like traditionally in the last decade, it's all just been like you're a superhero.
And you're good.
And you're a
Automatically.
good person 100% of the time. This is like a kid that apparently has no idea like what's going on. He's an alien being raised by, I think that, what was the actress again?
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks literally has like purple tips on her blonde hair. She literally looks like trailer trash. And it
She's
is,
married to Roy from The Office.
it literally is, yeah, it's
That
like
doesn't help.
this
Yeah.
kid is like being adopted forcefully by one of the like the farmiest, trashiest families of all time. And he's just sick of the shit, which is, I'm kind of excited to see
I'm
it
gonna
happen.
kill these.
I hope
doing
he's
a
got
lot
like
of-
a tin of dip in his pocket.
The cool thing about the trailer is he's the kid's spacing out a lot, and he's like acting weird and out of the ordinary, and he's giving that vibe off strong, which is nice.
And that's a terrifying thing.
Yeah,
He doesn't have any lines either. I wonder if he even talks.
No, he just bites that fork and crushes it with his teeth.
Fucking bites a fork like a garbage disposal.
So you think there's no chance he's going to be redeemed a little bit? He's going to be good at the end? You think
No.
he's 100% bad?
he better go bad boy all the way.
I hope he's bad. boy.
Spoiler twist. They pull a split, and this ends up in the M. Night Shyamalan universe.
I'm Mary Reynolds.
Spoiler, double.
I can't wait for that. That movie looks so good. I don't even care.
What movie?
I'm Mary
The new
Reynolds.
Mr. Glass.
Oh, yes. Hell
Yeah, that one was
Glass would be
crazy.
so good. So good.
Yeah.
Going back to what you guys said about like the creepiest thing or weirdest things ever woken you up, and you made a comment about having like a kid just like staring at you in the corner or some shit. This kid kind of gives off that creepy Paranormal Activity vibe where the baby's just like
Yeah,
like that
100%.
may be the most terrifying thing in the world to me. Because if I ever woke up, I don't have kids, so if I ever woke up and there's a fucking kid just standing there staring at me,
I'm going to punt that kid.
I don't condone fighting children, ladies and gentlemen.
I do.
He's a reverend. He's a reverend.
But we
one
might
on
need to
TV.
fight children.
I will fight any child. These hands rated E for everybody.
Oh my god!
Yeah, if I woke up and had a kid, that would be a nightmare.
Wait,
did
you mean
see
actually
drunk
like a kid
Erica.
that is your child?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, we did see drunk Erica flaunting some very cool and stylish baby
Yo, dude, those are
onesies.
gifts. Okay, don't spoil it.
No,
Those are Christmas gifts.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, whatever.
They're for you. They're your
They're a little
Christmas
small.
gift.
All right, we also got a trailer for Umbrella Academy coming to Netflix in February. This is originally a Dark Horse comic, and it's got a pretty good cast. Ellen Page, Mary J. Blige.
Yo, Ellen Page doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
She's kind of weird.
Kind of.
Was she the one from the one with Michael Sarah? Remember where he gets her pregnant? Wait, who's
Yes.
that girl?
Juno.
Is that her? Okay,
Juno.
Juno. All right. Yeah, I don't like
She
her.
was Shadow Cat in X-Men.
just doesn't give off a
Forgettable.
Yeah.
superhero vibe.
No,
doesn't
the actual good one where they Days of Future Past.
Yeah, but she
Okay.
was still forgettable in that movie. She wasn't the
Yes.
reason that was a good movie.
Okay, whatever.
truthfully, that her face to me is just not.
There's just something just like your face just makes me angry.
It
She's
doesn't make me angry.
No,
I just can't.
She's the Wii Fit trainer in Smash Bros. Generic blah face.
Way to appeal to the masses.
Everybody loves Smash Bros. We were all four just playing it. Who doesn't know Smash Bros?
Great.
Our one watcher, our one viewer. Do you know
That's
Smash
probably
Bros?
me.
Do you know Smash Bros? And he's gone. And he's gone.
I sent you guys the trailer for the Predator Holiday Special. You are so stupid today.
Go sit down over there in the
No,
corner.
dude, go get me a beer. Did you guys watch this trailer? It's basically an elf is talking to a reindeer, and thank you. Stay there. Actually, bring me a beer first. And basically, the three laser dots show up on this reindeer, and the reindeer's like, "Get down!" He gets blown into smithereens. This is a Comedy Central thing, and kind of piqued my interest.
I hadn't seen it.
Great, good talk.
Did anybody else
let's-
see it? Because it sounds good.
Why did it pique your interest? I'm talking loud so you can hear it in the mics.
Just give me a beer and sit the fuck down. We're just going to move on. The Assassin's Creed producer, Jean-Julien Barada, is going to direct the Duke Nukem movie. It's going to be a parody of 1980s action heroes. Does anybody really want to see this?
What's the default gun he has? Is it a bazooka?
The BFG? No, that's Doom. I don't know, but he has balls of
Is it
steel.
shotguns?
Okay.
No.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
Hell
you tell
yeah.
us.
If this is going to be a parody, like super self-aware and making fun of itself,
Got to be John Cena, right?
I'm super sold on this.
It's got to
the
be. Has to be John Cena. If it's not John Cena, it's not worth it.
No,
It's
I won't
miscast.
see it.
The Rock.
The Rock had his chance to do this kind of thing. He failed.
Yeah, he did it in Doom, and it was bad.
It's very
Yeah,
bad.
he
The Rock
can't,
is
he can't double dip.
Past that now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who played Drago's son?
I don't know. I think he's an actual boxer, but I don't want to see him as Duke Nukem.
Yeah, he's not a good
Okay.
actor.
It's gotta
I want
be-
to see John Cena.
Yeah, it's
do
John
it.
Cena or get the fuck out.
John Cena's the big dumb idiot enough of a human to do it.
And he can do comedy. We know he's funny. He's got charisma. It's got to be. Got to be John Cena. All right, we know what Disney's next movie is going to be after Toy Story 4. It's going to be called Onward, and it's going to star the voices of Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Octavia Spencer. Kind of going all out for this.
What's the base of the movie?
Oh, this is going to be awesome.
Why?
I know the base of it.
It introduces two teenage elf brothers who embark on an extraordinary quest to discover if there's still a little magic left out there. So typical Disney.
It's a suburban family in a fantasy realm.
Yeah, they're elves.
It's kind of dope.
And plus they have a freaking stellar cast.
Chris Pratt's voice is dope.
He's a great voice actor, and Julie Louis-Dreyfus is I love Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Are they like Christmas elves, or are they like Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
Lord of the
There's
Rings.
only three types of elves, remember?
Yeah, they could be. True, good point. People forget.
They live
People
in a tree.
forget. But this disenchantment.
Yeah, I kind of got that sort of vibe as well.
That's what I want.
I waffle on this because for voice actors, you don't need to get a big name actor and a recognizable voice. There are people out there that are looking for work. Like Chris Pratt doesn't need any fucking work. He's in everything.
Yeah, but everybody, like, I feel like when I hear a dope voice actor playing a character in an animated film, I connect to it a lot more right out of it.
Like Nick Cage is Spider-Man Noir.
That's different. It's Nick Cage.
It's the best thing ever.
It's not different because the one good trailer in the whole movie yesterday was Lego Movie 2. And when I was with Adam and Rachel yesterday, and they haven't seen Lego Movie, so I was like, you guys would like that movie for sure. Amazing. It's very campy and like perfect, self-aware. And I listed off the cast, and they were just like, damn, there's like so many freaking people in there. That's like when you have to see, it's a must see, because otherwise, if you don't have those big name actors, it just is if it's animated, it's just a throwaway movie, in my opinion. Like, oh, who cares if it's just these people? It's just might as well be a Netflix original or like a Hulu original.
Yeah. You hate voice actors. I got it. Do you think Tom Holland is going to be British in this?
Is he British in real life?
He's super British.
RL British.
He's like, British as tea and crumpets.
How do they do that?
I don't know, dude, because I don't have a British.
How does Hugh Laurie do that?
I can't do a British accent, and his American accent.
Hugh Laurie sounds more American than I do, which is horseshit.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And the fact that he did it for 9 seasons or 10 seasons of House or whatever it was, how are they so good at American accents?
I'm always surprised.
Show ever, by the way.
Whoa! Get out of my house!
Wow.
Are you butthurt about it? Defend your mans.
Yo, are you kidding me?
It was the same story every episode.
But that story was a good story every single time. Okay. It was interesting. I saw it when I was 12.
A lot of repeat, right?
It was always lupus.
It wasn't always.
It was always lupus.
It wasn't always lupus.
It could have always been lupus, but it wasn't.
My man's his lupus specialist. How else you gonna? What else do you want?
All right, season 2 of The Punisher is coming in January, presumably about 2 weeks before it gets canceled, because they're just going to keep canceling these.
Hopefully it ends in a bang. Hopefully they're like, all right, well, we have one last shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the reason is Netflix is $25 billion in debt.
That doesn't
Netflix
matter.
Originals. No, so here's the thing. And this is going to be the finance side of me coming out because I actually study this stuff.
Brilliant.
Right? So Netflix, $25 billion in debt on Netflix originals. Membership and viewership on Netflix is not necessarily being driven up at the rate at which they need to continue to be able to produce this high-level content of the original stuff.
Damn.
So at some point, there's going to be a tipping point, a very, very high peak with a very steep decline in terms of Netflix originals. They've got to start making very tough decisions in terms of what shows they want to continue to produce, what's keeping people around, right? They made $100 million decision to keep Friends on board because they've got the data on who's watching what and for the amount of hours that it's being watched. If their Netflix originals aren't producing the hours watched or bringing and keeping people on board, they're fucked. $25 billion in debt on Netflix originals alone.
So,
and were you saying some of that is associated to how many people have Netflix and are paying for it right now and what their fees are? So everyone has Netflix because they rip it off of their friends.
That's
and
the thing.
Literally, you could have 5 people ripping it off of one of your friends.
They can just do what Hulu does, though, and say, nope, you're streaming too many at the same time.
But they don't.
They could.
Yeah. These are all great points. A couple of things have to happen for Netflix to continue to. They're not making money for shareholders, right? Again, this is the investment.
I'm sorry, what?
They're not making money for their shareholders.
Have you seen Netflix's stock price over the last 2 years?
I understand.
It has literally tripled.
I understand. Now, do you remember what happened in the late 90s with tech companies? If we want to really dive into that, we can.
Yeah, there was a sock puppet and pet stock. Yeah.
So
no, dude.
The idea is the fact that Netflix is continuing to take on debt, continuing to not actually produce enough profit for shareholders. There's going to be something that has to turn them around. People who own large shares of Netflix are at some point going to say, hey, you have to start actually making me some fucking money and stop taking out debt.
I agree with you. Mark and I both have finance degrees. You're not the only one in the room. But as a finance guy and not an accountant, you should know that finance guys have zero aversion to debt whatsoever. Just take on all the fucking debt you want. Doesn't matter.
As long as there's a vision, as long as they know that the money they're putting into. I mean, look at the movies. Look at fucking who they just casted in the newest movie on Netflix. You have where they're
So I'm
the
going
soldiers.
to stop you there, though. So they cast these great names. That movie, though, doesn't make them any more money necessarily. They have to have people based on that movie alone sign up for their service.
They're also releasing movies theatrically now, so they will start generating box office revenue.
That
What
I
movie-
didn't know that.
what-
part
what
about it.
movie-
Was that
what-
what we just saw with? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's
with-
coming to theaters. That movie.
So Netflix is so they are going to start putting it out into theaters. And that's in
Outlaw
2019.
Outlaw King got a theatrical release in certain areas because they're going to push for that for an Oscar,
Sure.
which is appealing to a different audience, I think, as opposed to idiots like us. Like, we don't care about Oscar bait movies, but
Okay, yeah,
We
no,
like Netflix.
that's true. But at the same time, are they doing theatrical releases, or is it just because it's Oscar nominated? Because they do that just for Oscar nominated movies.
no, they've released other movies in theaters.
Like what?
I don't know off the top of my head, but they're out there and they will continue to do so.
Because whenever I see Netflix, I always just assume it's streaming, and I've never been
They'll,
told
so
otherwise.
if that's the case, then they will definitely start adding additional revenue. But their model that they had up until this point, where they're trying to do this, if it's not only for awards, is going to definitely be something that's they're going to have to find some ways to make it sustainable because you can't continue to take out. I mean, Netflix original started 4 years ago.
Yeah, and I
20. That's $5 billion a year in debt you're continuing to take out. And I mean, obviously they're making more and more money. People are signing up. You're going to see an increase in cost. You're going to see a decrease in number of devices that you can use per account, et cetera, to find some way to manage and balance that
or
out.
hopefully that their stockholders are like, oh, this triple in stock prices are dope. We'll just keep letting them do what they
Stock
do.
prices is
It's
very subjective.
Supply and
to,
demand.
Yeah.
a singular stock is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it, regardless of the value of the actual company.
And that was Finance 101 with the Chumpcast.
Welcome to Business Chumps.
Business. Don't you guys have that picture of you and you and
business.
Is it you and TJ or you and Mark? Or?
No, it was
Me and
TJ and
TJ.
Mark.
Yes.
Because I used to say that
Classic.
to TJ all the time when I was hungover and walking to my business classes at
That's
Lincoln
an
Hall.
awesome. That's an awesome.
This has been the business segment.
Oh, that was terrible.
I tried to do a low. I tried to do a low. It didn't work.
Worse than normal. Got it.
Best.
Best.
Best. Worst. Worst.
The worst. She's the worst person in the world. Huge skank, terrible, but thank you.
All right, this is a perfect opportunity because everybody got up to go to the bathroom, whatever. I'm going
I
to play
didn't. Oh,
my
nice.
best old biddy alive because this woman is amazing. Let's take a listen here.
Mr. Sarver has done nothing to improve this team in the 14 years he's owned it. He's never funded or bought, paid for 2 or 3 key players,
Damn.
which make any sports team, professional sports team, successful or on the road to success. He's so tight, he squeaks when he walks.
Amazing burn.
Wow.
So that was the voice of Greta Rogers, who went to a public hearing in the Phoenix City Council. Basically, the owner is saying, I need $150 million from the city of Phoenix, or I'm going to move the team. Fuck that guy, because he's a literal billionaire. I think it's a complete joke, the way that sports franchise owners take advantage of cities and taxpayers. That's a whole nother story. We won't get into the business side of shit again.
This has been the business.
But yeah, it's totally taking advantage of taxpayers, and they're taking taxpayer revenue and putting that burden onto the city and the actual people that live there. It's the same reason I was happy that Chicago never got the Olympics.
Mhm.
That would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Not for Airbnbs though. I would have.
cares?
I would have been like, I'm going to fucking Bourbonnais with you, Ryan.
Anyways, back
Anyway.
to this old Betty. Greta Rogers, best woman alive.
Okay. That's awesome. Also, the Phoenix Suns owner stinks wieners, whatever. Geno
He does
Atkins.
indeed stink wieners.
Geno Atkins is my best man alive because, while some families are splurging on decorations and vacations and gifts for the holiday season, others are not so fortunate. They got to pay bills and tuition and medical bills and all that shit. So Geno Atkins, the defensive tackle, is spending his holiday season relieving 50 families of their debt and taking them on shopping sprees and doing all these other donations for 50 families randomly. So
Whoa.
he's the freaking man.
Whoa.
So he's my best man of the week. Ba-da-doo-doo.
You got one, Colin?
I just in the last 72 hours downloaded and have gotten into Audible. So I've got my first audiobook.
Audiobooks.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
And I've, I drive.
Is that solely Amazon or is Audible its own company?
Audible is owned by Amazon.
Okay.
So got into Audible. Basically, I had a plane ride home. I wanted to try something besides listening to music, and I drive 30 hours every other week. So I downloaded a book by a gentleman named John LaFiva.
Yeah.
And it's called Straight to Hell. This is a best man / worst man alive, because this book is written by a guy who had a Twitter account called @GoldmanSachsElevator, @GSElevator.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, maybe like 18 months, he was tweeting stories and conversations heard in Goldman Sachs properties around the world that people would submit to him.
So he's giving insider information pretty much?
No, it's about the culture and exposing what it's actually like in the heart of investment banking, in the heart of kind of the deep investment world of Wall Street.
That has written you all over it.
Well,
sorry, are we going back into business now?
No,
kind
not
of.
Really. So this audiobook basically is stories of when he started with Salomon Brothers as an investment analyst and traveling around the world for his job and all of the ridiculous things that happen. So it's semi-endorsement, semi-best man, worst man alive, because it's fucking hilarious. He's a douchebag half the time in the book, but his stories are honestly some of the funniest things I've ever heard. So I would highly suggest it.
Dope.
This is Straight to Hell. That's what it's
Straight to Hell.
Straight to Hell.
From Reverend Rogue.
Lastly, I'm going to give my best man to, the hell is his name? Here we go. Alexander Archibald. So turns out a homeless man found a rare artwork from Disney's Bambi in the trash. He went to an antique place because that's how he was making a lot of his money. He sold it for $20, and the film cell ended up selling for $3,700. But my best man alive is actually this antique shop owner, Alexander. He gave the homeless man half of money he generated for that animation cell. So I guess what he initially thought, this homeless guy, is when he picked it up, it was just like a remake of the animation cell, when really it was like hand drawn, and that's how they used to do it. Yeah. Damn. So this thing turned out to be a lot of money. And to go off of that even more, Alexander, I guess, set up a GoFundMe for this guy, and they've raised like $10,000 from already. So little Christmas spirit stuff going on right now. It's all good.
Bambi, right?
Yeah.
That wimpy deer.
Yeah, that wimpy fucking deer.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention another one. Our guy Chuck from Chuckload of Comics.
This is freaking awesome.
Sent us a Christmas card.
It was so well done, I had to do a double take. Like, what is going on? Oh my God, it's freaking Chuck is the Hulk.
Yeah,
that's their cat too. That's classic.
Yeah. So Chuck, Shauna, Walter, a very good job here. They basically superimpose their faces over an Infinity War trailer, and the title on the card is Infinity War on Christmas.
It looks
it's very
brilliant.
Professionally done.
Very professional.
Chuck, I appreciate it. That's I got a good laugh out of it. So nicely done.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chuck. Awesome. When you were like, "Hey, can I get your address?" You had no idea. I'm like, all right, he's sending a Christmas card. You're like, why does he want my address? Is he coming for me? I'm like, no.
Is Chuck coming for me?
Jesus.
No, Chuck knows his stuff.
Chuck, I love you, but you're half my size, and I will sit on you.
Yo, this is awesome.
No, Chuck's like Splinter Cell. He'll be able to infiltrate this place, hack your computer, and then kill you from the inside.
Chuck doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's too nice to hurt anybody.
Nope. Your dad.
This is badass. Oh my God.
All right, so that's going to wrap up our Best Man Alive segment. Let's get into Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And good thing the hater just left the room, because we are about to gush over it.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
So it's currently at 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's it?
95% from fans.
That's it?
Yo, chill. As Brick gets up to walk away from his microphone and keep yelling. This is written by Phil Lord and David Rothman. So Phil Lord is usually working with a guy named Chris Miller, and they do Lord and Miller. So they wrote Lego Batman, the Lego Movie. They wrote Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They write a lot of really good comedy stuff. 21 Jump Street. So this is Phil Lord and somebody else who I've never heard of. He did produce it with Chris Miller, though. So the movie had a projected budget of $90 million, which is pretty high for an animated film. But when you see the actual visuals from it, I think
that's $90 million visuals.
Yeah, you kind of understand why. Plus, they had to pay that ridiculous cast, which we'll get to in a minute. This, and I wanted to mention this as well, this was kind of in the news, but Sony is basically trying to trademark. So they filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to get a patent for this specific type of animation, which I didn't know you could do. But it's a blend of computer animation with hand-drawn touch-ups. And you can tell when you look at it, like there's different designs for each of the characters, which is great. But it's unlike anything I've ever seen, the types of animation that they use here.
100%.
It's so
very original.
It's so complicated and meticulous that every second in the film took a week of man-hours to complete. So have fun with the spin-offs for this.
I will add to that. Did you see all the animation people in the credits? How many there were?
Yeah, the man-hours had to be absurd for this.
I've always thought, like, how does that work when you work for Marvel Studio? Or this isn't Marvel Studios, but how does that work where you work in animation? You think they give you like, even the intro was out of this world for it. Like, I was like looking at all these visuals. I'm like, how the hell did they do this? Do you think they give you like a 10-second clip and say, hey, you have a month to get this done? And everyone kind of splits it up like that?
But yeah.
Okay,
it's insane.
Let me ask you three this question. Which of you have saw it in 3D and which saw it in Dolby?
I didn't see it in 3D. I'm so pissed. I'm going to go back and watch it in 3D, but
regular.
I saw it in 3D and I saw it in regular. This movie, frame for frame, was made for 3D movie. Just saying that. So you guys, whatever you guys say is add 3D to it because it's actually good. Even if you get headaches, this is what you need to see it in 3D. Doesn't matter.
I'm very excited for this to come out on Blu-ray or hopefully Netflix, where I can just watch it over and over again because that's how good it was.
You have AMC Stub Pass.
But then I have to leave my house and they won't let me bring Busch Light there.
You can sneak it in. Put it in.
Yeah, but I'd have to sneak in like a dozen, and it would just like clank when I walked. Yeah.
Just take the handicap seat, put on a fake prosthetic leg, and fill it up with Busch Light.
You are such a piece of shit.
No, this is actually coming full circle on some legendary.
Truthfully,
jokes.
prefer the fake fat stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, I could just pretend to be
fake
pregnant.
Fat stomach. I have a real fat stomach, so I can't use that.
No, you just look like Wilson Fisk in this.
Yeah, actual Fisk. Yeah, just do the shoulders. Do the massive shoulders. So like my head is in my body. My head's in the middle of my body. Yeah.
All right, so we're in this alternate universe. Technically, there are a couple scenes that kind of tip you off to that. Like when they're at the burger joint, you see the bill, and it's totally different. Like it's like it comes up as like $3,000 for this burger bill, and that's just kind of like one of the tips. This is not 616 Earth. Like
I know
when you read Marvel comics, the general Earth, our Earth is Earth 616. This is not what this movie is based on.
You for sure can look and see like all the discrepancies of certain things that are going on in the world. Like even all the Chance the Rapper posters for his album. He was wearing a 4 on his head, not a 3. So it's like little things like that. It's kind of cool to go back and rewatch it. And I'm sure there's some website that literally pinpointed all of those different things in it.
So, I don't think so, dude. But
for sure they did.
Rick's stupid today. Just ignore him.
I don't think so. I've scoured the internet myself, dude.
Okay, so Miles is a normal kid in Brooklyn, and he gets bit by a spider, obviously. Stumbles into an evil plot run by Kingpin, who has the worst character design ever. We'll get to that later.
He's huge. Kelly was like, oh my God, he's so big. I wish they made a toy out of him for Moose.
Everybody
they need to make a Funko Pop where his head just sticks out of his chest.
Everybody in that theater was super off put by the way Fisk was drawn.
Yeah, it just wasn't right.
The more I watched it, the more I loved it because it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I agree. He embodied hyperbole. With
dude.
How they put him together.
He was actually drawn that way in some of the comics in the mid 80s. I'm blanking on the artist's name, but he did draw him where he took up an entire panel and his head was 3 feet below his shoulders. And just the biggest traps of all time.
Which I thought was pretty cool because they did do the comic. They paid homage to the comics a lot.
This was a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Everything in it was even not just the small words that would show up on the screen like you're reading a comic.
I love that, by
just the way they told the story and like went back and flashed back to the characters and their origins and then jumped back into the story. Just how this whole movie was laid out paid absolute homage to comics in general. And that's what I loved about it.
You've both said homage now, and that's not a word.
It's homage?
Homage.
Homage.
I had this freaking conversation with Rachel and Adam yesterday, and all of us were like, yeah, wait, we don't know either. Yeah,
we create words on the Chumpcast if you haven't
Post-apocalyptic?
Yeah. Wait, so should we go over what happens? Who cares what happens?
Okay, so
because we should. That's like, isn't that just basically spoilers? If they want to see it, they should see it.
we are going to get into spoilers later, but
That's when we should do that.
he stumbles into this plot by Kingpin, who's trying to bring his family in from an alternate universe because his wife and son died. Spider-Man crosses streams with this, and basically that's how you get these spiders pulled into this universe.
Okay, yeah.
That's how you get the Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
Spider people.
Get out of here with
There
your
you go.
PC bullshit.
Hey, it's 2018, Ryan. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Well, not for much longer because it's almost 2019.
Mark.
This is why we say homage. Hold on, it was bothering me because it's spelled just like
Yes,
homage,
it
but
is.
you pronounce it homage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Homage.
Yeah,
Dude,
homage
you
is
fucking
way better.
Slither,
Get the
dude. Give
fuck
me a
out of here,
homage,
Smithers.
dog.
You don't say the B in debt, but here we are. Back to the finance
I do.
podcast.
Debit.
Debit?
Yeah, debit.
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 Mark,
It's like a frog noise. Debit.
how jacked are the spiders?
They're jacked as shit.
Do they murder enough innocent people for you?
The spiders?
Anybody?
No.
There's really only one murder, right?
No,
No,
what
no,
was
no.
what was his uncle, the uncle villain? That suit was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The
there's
Prowler.
one more.
That suit was jacked. I love that suit.
You guys, I'm gonna reiterate and hit hard home that
You're going to stop talking now.
that 3D was so much better. You guys are talking about the movie, but you guys haven't seen the movie in 3D.
Oh
You got to
my
see it
God.
in 3D, you guys. I'm gonna hit homage to the homies. Far from home.
You guys ever seen Half Baked?
Wow, what a freaking
Where they're talking
That's a
about the
connect.
different kind
That's
of
a connect.
stoners, and Dave Chappelle's talking about like the one like different types of stoners, and the one guy that says everything's better on weed, and he's like, "But have you ever seen it on weed?" This is Brick with 3D
Have you
right
ever
now.
seen it?
Have you ever seen it in
3D though? I will get into why you need to see it in 3D.
Oh, shut up. Who was your favorite spider, and why is it Nicolas Cage?
That's your favorite spider.
It's
obviously,
everyone's
because he
favorite
fights,
spider. It's
because he
obvious.
fights Nazis, dude. That's why you liked him.
No, he's so dark and brooding.
And fighting Nazis.
Plus, it's Nick Cage.
No, he was amazing, and a lot of people don't know that it's Nick Cage right away. And then when you connect the dots, you're like, oh, that's actually amazing.
Erica turned and looked at me, and she goes, "Oh my God, is that Nick Cage?" I'm like, "You're goddamn right, it
Did
is."
she love him? Did she love him or hate him?
Erica hates Nick Cage.
I know, but
which is grounds for divorce before we even get married. But Nick Cage was amazing in this.
Smithers, how did you like how they portrayed an older Peter Parker with Jake Johnson?
You don't see a lot of that in the comic books, where you've seen him as a father, you've seen him married to Mary Jane,
But he's
you've
not
never
26.
seen this particular.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because Peter Parker has always been a genius. He's always been like a scientific mind. He runs Parker Industries. He works for other big, chemical companies and shit like that. So this one was kind of different, where he's broke, fat, which I thought was hilarious.
Thick. Excuse me.
He's
Thank
thick
you.
with 4 C's. Yeah, he's it's a different take, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Was
There-
he your favorite Spider-Man?
I really like the way he just voiced Peter Parker in this. The one thing I would say is just the intelligence factor of Peter Parker, besides like, hey, drop the monitor kind of thing. Like there were certain parts where like you could tell obviously he's a smart guy. There's never a point where it's like he really did the Peter Parker thing where he was super nerdy.
Every time he called something a goober, I just died laughing.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yep. But I thought Peter Parker in this was great.
I
Jake Johnson doing
call idiots goobers, so I didn't connect with the goober joke. Just wanted to clarify that with you. What
Great.
did you think of the artwork and like the design?
It was
in general?
brilliant. I've never seen
It's
anything
Colin.
like
I
it.
was talking to Colin.
I think it was incredible. I like the first scene where he and his uncle. I'm not spoiling, right? That's
No.
not spoiling.
Okay. Don't talk about who his uncle is, but go ahead.
Right. No, the first scene where his uncle takes him down.
Okay.
You kind of had that. You see the relationship he's got with
The
his,
graffiti,
his
that-
uncle versus what he has with his father.
What did you think of his
Think of-
mural? Yeah.
Yeah,
His mural?
Yeah, his mural.
His mural.
His mural.
So
I think it was a homage to
I even know that
So-
it's mural. What are you saying?
Muriel's like an old woman.
So the whole the entire movie, I thought just like what they did and the way that they represented art in a very non-traditional sense, right?
Mhm.
It was he was creating stickers and slapping them on stop signs. He was putting
He was getting his
incredible
creative juices out in sweet
graffiti art
and
on
awesome-
walls, and he they made the comment a couple times about your shoes untied. He goes, "Yeah, I do that on purpose." Like just
Yeah.
kind of the whole vibe and the style that they had was, I thought, just off the charts.
I agree with that 100% because it's so unlike Peter Parker. And then once he gets his spider powers, he turns into a nerd, and he gets into his head, and all of a sudden he turns into like his real self. You know what I'm saying? It's because Peter Parker is a nerd at a cool school in all the stories. In this one, he's dapping up with everybody, walking in. He's so cool with everybody for the most part. And then he just like,
he's a cool guy
He's
at a
not
nerd
Peter
school.
Parker.
and then but I'm just saying,
Miles Morales.
but he's Spider-Man. I was talking in terms of Spider-Man.
Okay.
They did have a really
Spider-Man
good.
is campy, nerdy, and funny. You know, you can't get away from his origin, even if he's in an alternate universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if you acknowledge this a lot, but what really caught my eye is just the movements in general. Because when I went into this, I'm like, I hope it's not where I'm watching this movie and all I think about it is how it's just this animated movie. Like, yeah, Miles Morales getting out of the car and kicking the door closed, like little things like that, and like believable movements that a human would make. But this whole movie is animation. That blew my mind in a sense, because everything, the way that everyone interacted with each other, it was believable. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just watching this animated movie. And it's, you know, you felt like it was true to even real life scenario situations and even just real life movements that people would have.
Colin, what was your favorite spider person?
Gwen.
Why?
Interesting.
They're doing a spinoff for her, right?
She is getting a spinoff.
She's the first one to get a spinoff. So
Hopefully they find a way to make it take less than a week to do a second of animation so they can make more of these. But yeah.
make a million of them.
So I don't know. I just thought like Gwen's whole, I thought her outfit was sick. Basically, but more so combined than any of the other spiders had like just flow when she moved, and her Spidey abilities were just off the charts.
Her suit was super awesome
yeah,
too.
her outfit was sick.
Plus,
Yeah, that's a new character, by the way, in the comics. That's only 2-3 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
interesting.
So
And
very well done. And voiced by Haley Steinfeld, who is, I mean, the cast in this, I'm just going to run through this. Shamik Moore is Miles Morales. He's in Dope. He's in a couple other things. Jake Johnson, obviously, is amazing. And
Grungy.
is
He plays
a new podcast favorite, obviously.
He plays the most grungy Spider-Man of all time. It's amazing. It's fully, he leans into Nick. He leans into him. See, it's just the way he is. That's just the way he acts. And he's funny.
So funny.
He's so funny and awesome.
If you've never seen Let's Be Cops, it's one of the most underrated comedies. I love that movie.
For real.
So Haley Steinfeld, we mentioned. Mahershala Ali, Oscar winner, is Uncle Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lily Tomlin, who plays Aunt May. Zoe Kravitz is Mary Jane. John Mulaney, obviously. Nick Cage, we already talked about. Liv Schreiber, Chris Pine. This cast
Chris
is
Pine had a great monologue. Honestly.
insane. And Stanley obviously gets a cameo, and I didn't cry this time. Proud of myself.
Good. It was.
I almost cried. There's a scene at the end where they give a quote, and that one got to me. But
Yeah.
let's get back to the actual movie, though. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I said meh when you said that.
Did you just mess Stan Lee?
Yeah. Whoops.
Wow. Okay, Bill Maher. Where does this rank all time in Spider-Man movies?
Hold on. You have to think about that.
Whoa, that was heavy-handed question.
I liked it better than Homecoming.
Okay.
I don't know if I, just from when I was a kid and saw Spider-Man 1, I don't know if I would put it above that. I would say it's top 3 for me, though, to be honest.
I would easily say top 2 between I think Spider-Man and the Tom Holland Homecoming, and
It's top 3, definitely. Better than both of the, what's his face?
Garfield's?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield. But
Yeah.
better than both of his. Better than Spider-Man 3, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 2 is
I'd have to
probably
go
still
see-
my favorite of all time.
I'd
Yeah.
have to go back and see Spider-Man 2 and 1. They were solid. James Franco's the man.
What we're trying to get at, though, in Hammer Home is that this movie is amazing.
I think this is going to be a very overlooked movie if it has not been already. So anyone listening, just tell anyone you can go see this movie. You don't have to know everything about the alternate universes. That's what I loved about this. It was easily explained in this movie, and it's just an awesome time. So go see it.
Let's rate it, and then let's go into spoilers.
Well, before we do that,
Yeah, let's keep.
I want you guys to.
I want to talk. Okay, go
I
ahead.
want you to shut up.
All right.
I want you to find something bad that you can say about this movie.
That gets into spoilers, and I'll just wait.
Okay, I'm sure there's something you could say, but I didn't like the Kingpin design. I thought it looked really stupid.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay, I also don't like that he wasn't in more of the movie. Like he's the villain, but he's not really the villain. Like he's not the thing that they need to overcome.
Yeah, no, because he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a big famf. How else are you gonna make him actually a villain if he can't fight spider people. Spider people would kick his ass if he's a regular dude.
That's
he has to be
he's
really
not a
mammoth
regular dude.
person.
Did you not see this movie? You said you saw it twice. He beats the shit out of Miles Morales.
No, I know, because he's just a big dude. He doesn't have any superpowers. Spider people have superpowers.
Okay. Well, being a big dude is a superpower. Mark, say something bad about it.
Oh, I just wish they had more of those pan out shots, like when they're falling from the buildings. I think those are the coolest things ever.
Dude,
probably
wait
took like
till
a
you see it
month.
in 3D.
I know.
To animate.
Wait
I know.
till you see it in 3D. It's insane.
But I do wish there was more like jumping off buildings, like really cool scenes like that. There were a few, and obviously they were unbelievable, but I don't know. It's hard, man, with this. Yeah, I was going to say Kingpin's design was out of like just over the top ridiculous.
Everyone was so off put by it. That's why it's amazing.
I disagree. You got something bad to say about it?
I think that's and based on what you said, maybe this makes a little more sense now about the number of man hours it took to make 1 second of the movie. Miles goes from Bambi to gladiator fighter.
That was my
4
point.
seconds.
That was my point.
He has a come to Jesus moment.
You don't just get to take his point. You didn't have a good point. He made a good point. You don't get to claim it.
No, I didn't claim it. I was agreeing with him. I was like, that is a good point. I was going to I'm validating his point.
So,
Good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Basically, I mean, and this isn't a super spoiler, but he's a Bambi in the beginning. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's tripping over his own feet like a babe in the wood. I didn't really like how all of a sudden he just turned into a super dope Spider-Man in 4 seconds. I thought that was a little underdeveloped.
I'm going to watch this movie
Cut that
again
out.
soon, and I hope that I pick up on more of the background jokes because I thought they were pretty great. There's some real weird stuff in there. You see billboards for From Dusk Till Dawn, which is like Shaun of the Dead.
Yep.
It's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. There was something with Seth Rogen in a show where he's a jockey, and it's called Hold Your Horses.
Yes, amazing. I thought that was him. It's a very quick.
There was a billboard for the Red Man Group. When Miles' dad was scrolling through his phone, like looking to contact, I think he was trying to call his brother or something. I saw a contact number for Steve Ditko, which obviously is one of the creators of Spider-Man. Yeah, just a lot of really cool stuff in the background there. The fact that they completely reenact the Tobey Maguire scenes where he's like dancing down the street.
Like I said, they paid homage to the fuck out of this movie.
Brilliant. Let's rate it and then we can talk about spoilers.
Okay.
As our guest, Colin, do you want to see it, stream it, skip it? I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a see it.
Yeah, the word of mouth from this movie has got to be so good that they're going to crush the box office.
I hope.
Aquaman might as well not even come out next week.
Dude, shut up. Just shut up.
There's 0% chance that Aquaman is better than this movie.
100%.
I mean, this was good. There were some parts of this movie I like better than Infinity War, to be honest. It was close for me. I don't know.
Man,
I
Aquaman
love
doesn't
Spider-Man,
stand a
and I
fucking
thought
chance.
this was just awesome.
Jason Momoa is going to fucking hide in his basement for the next 6 months.
No, Aquaman will be legit. You wait.
So we're all see it.
See it.
No.
I know it's coming.
Go see it in 3D.
100% go see it in 3D. If you don't, it's a big time mistake. This is how much I want it. This is how much I like this movie. I have the AMC Stubs A-list member.
Ooh.
Just so you guys know.
Man.
You're looking at an Amazon Prime member.
Even if I don't want to go see the movie and take my time, I'm going to use one of my 3 passes just so I can use it on Spider-Man Infinity War or Spider-Man.
What are you talking about?
Into the universe. You can pick 3 movies.
Yeah, I don't understand. You know
So
what?
I am picking-
I don't want you to elaborate.
I am
shut
just
up.
saying I'm going to go. I'm going to buy a ticket for it through my app, and then I'm not even going to go. I'm just going to give them the revenue
I mean, or you could just buy a ticket and go see it again.
because I'm going to go. We should go. You want to go after this tonight? Want to see it again today? What are you doing?
I don't know. I got to sneak into Busch Lights, and it's this whole thing.
I got the buddies stood on. We'll sneak them in together, and then we'll go.
Talk, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Full
I would just
idiot
say
today.
see it. Yo, just see it in 3D, 100%.
All right, so we're gonna spoil it from this point on. Obviously, you can check the show notes.
Wait, you didn't ask me.
We don't
I know what
care, DC guy.
If you had to,
Skip it. See it.
yeah, obviously stream it. Spoilers from this point forward. Check the show notes. I wanted to ask you guys: did you have any idea who the Prowler was
No.
before they
Nope.
revealed it?
Not even 1/2 of 1 second.
Nope.
So that's in the comics. His uncle is the Prowler. He's not always evil in the comics. He's kind of just like,
They showed that.
He's just prowling around.
yeah. And the Prowler's been several other characters too, but I kind of wish I hadn't known that going into this.
It made it really fun. I'll tell
When
you.
you
that
say
much.
comics, are these Amazing Spider-Man comics from like last year or in this year? Is this recent?
There have been recent comics as well where, yeah. Or it's
No, I
Captain-
know they're recent. Are there older comics with the Prowler, or is this a new character they developed?
No, it's not a new character. It's
Okay.
been around for quite a while. And also, I wanted to mention we saw Donald Glover as Aaron Jefferson in Far From Home, or not, Homecoming.
Mhm.
Far From Home is the sequel.
I think my stupidity is contagious.
It really is. But that was the character that he's playing. Like, he's kind of a bad guy, but not really. He's misunderstood. But that was the Donald Glover character.
Uncle Aaron was dope.
He was so much cooler than his lame ass cop dad.
Yes, he was.
Couldn't agree more.
Let's see. We got to talk about that ending, the end credit scene with Spider-Man 2099.
That was great.
That was amazing.
You point at me?
The meme point off. Thank you so much.
You,
the people that made this are they understand
They get it.
pop culture. They get the meme reference. It's excellent. Nothing to say?
No, that was great.
Okay.
You nailed it.
So this character is Miguel O'Hara. Are any of you guys familiar with Spider-Man from 2099?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I am.
Basically, he develops a way to time travel. One of my favorite things about those comics is that anytime they swear, instead of saying like shit or fuck, they say shock. It's just a dumb little thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that in the movie. Did you notice that was Oscar Isaac's voice?
Also, no.
They're just going in on these voice actors, and I love it. I'm 100% here for it.
Low key, Chris Pine had a great Spider-Man to start out with. He was
the original Peter Parker, the young Peter Parker,
who was like the actual hero. He was like, I'll teach you. I'll take you under my wing for sure.
the blonde guy, and then he recorded a Christmas song,
Yeah,
which was amazing. They played
And
the
the
full version of
security-
the credits.
The security guard had it fucking playing his office.
Oh, man. I want to keep gushing over Nick Cage because his dark, brooding character was so great. When they break into Fisk's hotel and they drop down and grab those bodyguards, and you just hear Nick Cage go, sleep. Like, it's just so perfect. Perfect Nick Cage.
Yo, you know what we didn't talk about was the score. The score was incredible.
It was. The score and the soundtrack, both.
Super butt rumbling.
I keep it in check. She was a bad
One thing that I loved that they did was they leaned into that song early and often, and they played it like it's a great song, obviously super catchy.
Yeah, they didn't play enough at the end though. I wish they would have just bumped it at the last minute or so. They played like 10 seconds of it.
Yeah, but everyone knows the song, and they have such a good soundtrack. I've been actually listening to just the soundtrack.
You came over here and made me play it.
Yeah, and it was good.
We talked about this before, but a lot of movies, you'll say like this is the song for this movie, but they won't actually play it in the movie. They'll wait for the credits. Or
Credit scene.
They lean on this heavily, and it's great.
It's awesome. It's a great song. And plus just everything about that. Let me go into why you should see it in 3D for real. Every shot, I took some notes on this. Every shot, I will actually start out with, the first time I went to the theater, I usually don't watch the trailers, and got there, came in a little bit late, and I was a little salty, and I was like, fuck. And then the TV was super blurry, and I was like, oh, God damn it. After 10 minutes, people started leaving. They had to stop the screening, adjust the 3D, and then they started the whole movie over again.
I still wouldn't have left.
I didn't leave. I was super,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I missed 10 minutes at the beginning. Sick. I just was actually super pumped about the whole
10 minutes
time.
late to a movie.
This guy, he hates
I don't
trailers,
do trailers.
even though trailers are amazing and
I told you that. But
super hyped.
when the 3D finally adjusted, I was like, oh my God, this movie is freaking beautiful on all sorts of levels. When you get a different feeling. You're in another dimension. I will say that when you're in 3D.
But have you ever seen it in 3D?
But the way they shot the movie, the depth of all the shots were incredible. When he's leaning over to do his first jump and he looks over and is like seeing the ground, the pavement. You're
That's
just
right
like,
where I puke all over myself in
Yep,
the middle of the theater.
yep,
That's
same.
why I see it in 2D.
yeah, but oh my God, it takes you there. It takes you
Soak
there.
the smell up for the rest of the flick. It's worth it.
Every shot is thrown in a train alley. It's all narrow, like viewing depth perceptions, but it's so good.
I wanted to see more of the character backgrounds, especially with Gwen, because Gwen has a pretty cool backstory. They basically gloss over completely that Lizard kills Peter Parker in her universe. Like, she talks about her best friend that died. That's who it was. She gets bit by the spider instead. And they kind of showed a little bit that she's kind of in a rock band. But you had Haley Steinfeld, who can sing, and you completely did not explore that
Big
at all.
old missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And
well, they're doing it.
they'll do it in the spinoff. The spinoff is going to be Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman,
Spider-Pig.
and Cindy Moon, who is like the Korean spider girl. Bless you. So it's going to be interesting. I want to see a million more of these.
Do you have any thoughts, or can you tell us why Kingpin is the legit Kingpin in this universe, but Doc Ock is a female in this universe? Why it's different like that?
Nope. No idea.
They just did it like
It
that?
just
Okay.
is.
Okay.
I liked Olivia Octavius as
thought it
Doc
was-
Ock.
No, I
His wife
thought it
or
was
something.
great. It just,
It is. So in that alternate universe, he dies instead of her. So she becomes Doc Ock.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I like that they put you in this universe, and you talked about it earlier, saying that, oh yeah, you knew it was not this Earth because it was a $3,000 bill. I didn't notice that. I've seen it twice. Didn't notice that. I thought it was just regular Earth for the most part.
Believable.
It's animated, so I just assumed it was like we were in the home planet. And the fact that you alluded to that it wasn't Earth makes it a little more. As long as Kingpin as the main villain, if he would have been like a female, it would have taken you out immediately, and
You can't draw a woman that big.
It would have been like
No,
the villain
it's true.
from
That's
do it.
the 100%.
Matilda or whatever, the fucking cake lady. It would have been like her.
Are you okay?
That's a great. No, it's a good joke. That's a good joke.
What else do you feel like you wanted to see more of? Like maybe Nick Cage's background instead of him just talking about punching Nazis or anything?
Spider Noir. I would love to see an OG movie. Well, I'm in.
We have not talked at all about Peter Porker.
Whoa.
Spider Ham.
So voiced by John Mulaney,
Awesome.
brilliant comedian.
He had great comedic timing.
He's a comedian, so yeah.
I'm just saying.
I did like the way that he could just pull an anvil out of his back pocket and drop it on somebody. Like,
He's
it
like,
just-
put the hammer in your pocket, it will fit.
Out of your prison wallet.
It was freaking Looney Tunes, and like literally that's all, folks. They even
He goes, is this legal?
it's not even legal. It's not even legal. They were so self-aware. It's amazing.
brilliant fourth wall breaking.
I thought they missed maybe the. Is that like I don't know if I've ever seen like Porker Parker or whatever. Or
Peter Porker.
And is that like a thing? somewhere?
Porker Parker. I love it. I
So
said the
there
same thing.
there is a universe where every character is an animal. So in this case, Peter Porker was actually a spider that gets bit by a radioactive pig. There are great comics about some of them. I think this started back in the 80s, actually. And they just kind of reference it now. Thor was a frog and they called him Throg. Like there's just a bunch of references like this. Dr. Doom was a baboon.
I'm all about that stupid.
I think
Yeah, just Google this and see the Marvel animals.
The reason I ask is everybody's seen the Simpsons movie Spider Pig.
Yeah.
Spider Pig. I was
Yes.
thinking like semi play on that, but an alternate universe.
Yeah, this was a thing that happened first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
just a real
Awesome.
thing. So,
The Spider Pig might have been one of my favorite parts of that movie as well.
probably.
agreed.
What else do we have to say about this? Anything?
This movie does a ton for a lot of different areas in pop culture currently, whether it be music or the arts. It shows on the complete flip side of traditional Spider-Man universe, right? Where Brick semi tried to put this into a sentence earlier, where Peter Parker in the traditional Spider-Verse is the super smart nerd at the cool kid kind of public school, doesn't fit in. Miles is the super cool guy that everybody's friends with that
Goes
is
to
now
private school.
Yeah, goes to private school, and
Smooth.
now he sticks out there because he's trying to pull his comic relief off. Like they really touch on a lot of points in that regard. But the music, the art, the animation that they've put in, obviously the amount of effort that went into it is just, I think it does a ton for animated films that maybe haven't gotten stale, but have gotten semi-repetitive with the same kind of Toy Story style animation over and over and over again. We haven't seen like a real cartoony style movie. Tell me the last one. Right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they took this movie, did what they did with the cultural references and the artistic approach, and they spun it to a point with the actual animation being cartoon style animation. I'm going to make a real hot take here and say this is my favorite movie I've seen probably in the last 3 years.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you could say the same thing about recent superhero movies, and they're all just kind of cookie cutter. This is not.
It's not at all. It doesn't feel like anything you've seen. That's why I think everybody in this room is so strong about the go see it, because this is like unlike anything you've put on a screen in any recent
Ever.
movie.
Yeah.
They put it all together for this.
I'm just going to say
100%.
it. Skip Aquaman, go see Spider-Verse.
Shut up, dude. Just shut up.
No, continue to say that because that's for real. That's very well put, Colin, on some real talk.
Great. So I'm really excited to see where they go with this. In the comic books, Miles' mom gets killed. So I don't know if they're actually going to lean into that.
In the video
didn't
game,
show much of her. It was more about his dad.
in the video game, his dad gets killed.
Yeah, but in the comics,
I'm just saying, in that Spider-Verse.
Yes,
hey,
you are
don't
correct.
just don't. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I haven't had a chance to go back and play the game yet, but now I kind of want to. Also, the way that they just dropped in casually all of the suits from the video game when they go into
That was dope.
Chris
Those are
Pine
so cool.
Spider-Man's.
That was
That was
so cool.
awesome.
That
They
was
did.
awesome.
They did a very good job of layered jokes in that. They had a lot of different connecting jokes that landed pretty hard.
And the way that Miles ends up with his black suit, it was perfect because it tied into who he is as a person, but they don't show him actually making a suit. And Miles
They show him spray painting it.
but
They
in the comics, Miles' suit is black with like red accents. So
Yeah.
the way that they arrived at that, I thought was really well done.
Paid homage.
Yes.
Thank you,
Homage.
Colin.
They played homage.
Thank you, Colin.
Thanks for getting it right.
All right. Anything else before we get into recommendations?
Couple things. Would you say this is your top 3 of the year for you guys?
Yeah, I saw it twice,
Yeah,
and I want
easily.
to just give it free
Yeah,
money.
it's up there.
Another thing. Did you see the ones they released? Nike.
I did. The
Did
Jordans.
you see those?
Yeah.
Those are sweet.
I mean, they're just
Yeah.
retro Jordan ones.
I know.
But they're
Sick, though.
I like them. The accent on the red obviously does the whole Spider-Man thing. I just wish they would have put like the Miles Morales Spider-Man symbol like just slightly on the back, you know?
You can do that. Make them original. Sick.
yeah. So the difference between the logos is like the legs are a little bit longer.
Yeah.
On that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's.
They're sweet though still.
I looked at a pair and they were $160. I was like, probably not.
Yeah, soundtrack is ridiculous for this too.
Everything about this movie is ridiculous.
Sway
It's
Lee,
amazing. Go
Juice
see it.
WRLD, Nicki Minaj is on it, Post Malone. Yeah, go listen to the soundtrack. Go
Wayne.
see this movie.
Dude, the soundtrack is so
Sway,
good.
Lil Wayne.
hmm
This is great.
It's a lot.
Let's do our recommendations. You got anything for me? We'll come back to you.
come back to
Mark,
me.
what do you got?
Come back to me.
Brick, anybody? Has anybody
I got
seen
you.
or
I
done
got you. I
anything?
got you. I
I
got
haven't
you.
done shit.
Guys, my recommendation is go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Dude, it is in 3D.
In
In 3D.
3D?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you,
cool.
Mark.
I recommend
to
you
hammer
see
it
it in
home.
2D and ignore Brick and skips Aquaman next week.
Come on.
I've been rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine because it's coming back soon. It's coming back in January. They released a trailer, which is basically a homage to
You said it wrong, dude.
I said it wrong.
to
Homage.
Die Hard because that's
Homage.
Jake Peralta's favorite. This is coming back to ABC. Fox was stupid to ever let it go. It's one of my favorite sitcoms that's currently running.
Oh, fuck Comedy Central, too, by the way. They dropped Detroiters. Best show of all time. I can't believe it.
It was so good that it got canceled.
Yeah, I'm very pissed.
Great.
I got a
Have any of you
recommendation.
thought of literally anything?
I have a recommendation.
Okay.
I do have one more thing before back to Spider-Man. I need to know, how do you think Mary Jane was hot? We had a hotness rating based on the video game talk we had.
Yeah, Miles Morales universe. Mary Jane was hot. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
What about
she's-
it?
She's younger in that universe than
Yeah.
in Jake Johnson's,
hmm
right? Because he's older. They're the
And
same
he was
age.
blown away when he saw her at the gala.
Yeah, that was
It's like, oh my God.
hilarious,
His
by the
his,
way.
his talk about bread was amazing.
Well, how did we end up back at Spider-Verse? Do
'Cause
you have a
it's so good.
recommendation?
That's my recommendation.
I'm gonna pivot back to my best worst man alive. Check out Straight to Hell
Okay.
on Audible.
Or
worth,
read it.
worth a listen. I've been doing it on the elliptical or just in the car, and it's honestly like it's worth a laugh. I look like that idiot in the gym who's just laughing on a treadmill.
Amazing.
You know, I don't hate that. Like, when I go work out, I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts. So it's kind of the same thing.
We didn't mention Chumpcademy Awards, so I didn't get
It's
to
because
vote.
we've done literally nothing.
We've done nothing so far,
I
but
asked you to scope this thing out before. You're like, we're just going to
Well,
start
Mark
it.
showed
All
up
right,
an hour
listen,
and a half late
listen,
as
listen,
per
listen.
usual.
Don't blame Mark for your follies.
I already have the template.
Me? Me?
Can you
I'm
guys
gonna
shut
choke you
up?
with
Just
that
shut
fucking
up,
bunny
guys.
outfit.
Shut up. Let me finish.
Me?
I've
So
never
we're gonna
beat
start
up a
laying-
giant bunny before, but I'm going
God
to.
damn it. Just shut up. We're going to start
Wait,
posting.
what did you say?
We're going to start posting on
Yo, Ryan,
Instagram
what's up? How you doing?
all of our Chumpcademy Awards, all of the categories. Please give us some nominations. This is all going to be via Instagram. We'll probably put it on Facebook too, but keep a lookout because in 2 weeks, we'll be announcing winners for our Chumpcademy Awards.
Yeah, because next week we're going to spend an hour shitting on Aquaman.
Hell no.
Let's do-
Hell no.
Colin, can you get in on this harmonization? We're just do the Chumpcademy Awards. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm out on this.
Chump Academy
Aquaman.
Awards. Let's do that.
Academy
1, 2,
Awards.
3.
No, I got it. Chump Academy Awards.
Okay,
Ready?
got it?
1, 2, 3. Chump Academy Awards.
That actually wasn't bad. I can cut that one.
Sick.
All right, that's going to wrap up episode 122 of the Chumpcast.
Wait. Just kidding.
Fuck.
Go ahead. Wrap it up.
See you in 3D. As always, you can find us on social media at the Chumpcast. You can also call or text us at 847-920-6107. Until next time.
Chump sound motherfucker.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't give you a chance to plug your channel. Please,
Yes,
go ahead.
Rav, please.
Oh my God. Nothing crazy, y'all. Just Reverend Rogue 10 hanging out again. Appreciate y'all having me.
That was very rude
no.
of me. I apologize.
No, you're
Yeah,
fine.
you
You're fine.
freaking
So,
rude jerkosaurus.
Reverend Rogue 10 on social media, Instagram and Twitch are the main ways to follow me. Look for a complete reboot of the channel starting Jan 1, 2019. Come for the content, stay for the vulgarity and vivaciousness.
No Church in the Wild. Let's go.
All right, until next time.
Chump sound motherfuckers.